Yeah, you're clapping it. All right, here we go. So welcome back. We are to episode number 8 of the micro vlogcast here in season 4. We've talked a lot about solar, but there's some other stuff that I think would be interesting to talk about, and I think we'd be remiss to go the whole season without discussing the fact that there's seemingly some sort of pandemic going on. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I have.
Yeah, and so shockingly, and I think when I first met you, I think one of the most exciting parts about having you join our team was you had a focus on wellness. And so there's certainly wellness like around, but in facilities explicitly. Can you help me understand like what is like wellness from the lens of a building?
Yeah, so I think a lot of us working from home last year, I think we're able to recognize or at least connect some dots between the physical space we occupy and how well we feel in that space, right?
Okay.
So there's a pretty big disconnect between, not disconnect, but a spectrum of kind of interior environments between kind of the home, the residential setting, and the office setting, right? And there's lots of things that go into like a quality and experience, right? And it's not just daylight, it's not just how healthy the air is, but it can be how noisy it is.
Yeah. I see you, trash truck.
And there's been a lot of research around this over a really long time, right? Biophilia has been around a long time.
What is that word?
Biophilia. So it's a framework to understand, the Biophilic Framework is really,
Did I open a can of worms?
You did, but it's essentially like our affinity towards life.
That makes sense.
And so design in a way that promotes and activates that affinity because we find that we're healthiest and feeling most whole in those spaces.
So like a simple example would be like having a lot of windows so you could open up and see and smell. Yeah. Where you are in it, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You get kind of cranky if you're in a basement for too long. Is that kind of the concept?
Yeah, I mean, you think back to how we've grown up as a species, right? And we've only been an interior species for a couple hundred years, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that's been a relatively new thing. And if you arc out our history, right, and we've almost always been historically an outdoor species. So a lot of how we relate to one another, how we feel in our bodies, even how well we learn and kind of read people, to how we heal is all connected to that kind of that biophilic sort of connection to being an outdoor species.
Interesting. So you wouldn't think about this, it's just a building, but what you're saying is how you set your building up and making sure that it still has some of those like natural feels is important. Well, hey, I think we're going to explore this probably in other episodes, but we're going to be done for right now. And wild stuff here, Biophilia. Folks, look it up. Okay, yeah, we're going, right? So you can, episode 8, I'm going,
We're going when the timer says we're going.
Okay.